to the Elevate Talk Show. I am your host, Deanna Johnson Cauthen.
And I'm Adrianna Cauthen, your co-host, and we're the mother-daughter talk show that's here to elevate your family. If you haven't done so already, please take a second to like this video and to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes.
Yes, and we are so excited about today's episode. This week, the Elevate Talk Show takes you around the town to Montgomery, Alabama. This is actually a around the town we have done before, but we thought it would be good, particularly since it was Black History Month, to revisit Montgomery, Alabama, where so much of the civil rights movement took place. Martin Luther King Jr. and his family lived there, so we wanted to bring that back and revisit Montgomery, Alabama. So please stay tuned for that. Also, in our perspective segment, Adrianna and I will again be talking about why is Black history so important. We talked about that a little bit last week, but we want to continue our conversation about that. So you must stay tuned for that. Also, in our continuing the conversation segment where we interview different personalities, we are going to be talking with Mr. Arzell Thompson Jr., a prolific artist who we met when we visited the new Black Wall Street Market a few weeks ago. So you want to hear his story. It's inspiring, it's encouraging, so stay tuned for our time with Mr. Arzell Thompson Jr. What else?
Yes, and in our meal of the week, I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy, delicious chicken alfredo pizza.
Yummy. We've eaten that before. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Since we've had that, so I'm glad that you're revisiting that recipe. It's always really good. So make sure you stay tuned for chicken alfredo pizza. So we have to take a little break. We are going to take a minute to go away, but we will be right back. So don't you go away. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. This is our perspective segment where Adrianna and I discuss a question amongst each other, but we also put the question out to our audience, and this is the question: why is Black history so important? Why is it important? We talked about this a little bit last week, and we wanted to just pick up the topic again. So why do you think Black history is so important, Adrianna?
Well, I mean, part of the reason Black history is important is that it's important to give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of things that were invented by Black people, and those inventors don't get credit.
Right, like?
For example, Alexander Miles invented automatic elevator doors after his daughter was almost killed by falling down an elevator shaft.
Wow.
Sarah Boone invented the modern ironing board.
Really?
And also Marie Van Buren Brown
Yes.
invented the home security system
Wow.
after her house was broken into.
Wow, and we've heard of other inventions here and there by African Americans, but I don't think we have any idea about how vast that is, how many things that we enjoy today that were actually invented by Black people.
Yeah.
Can you give us a few others?
Yes, so the central heating furnace was invented by Alice H. Parker in
Yes.
1919. Her design is used to supply natural gas to use it to heat homes. I mean, there's so
we never
many.
would have.
Even mailboxes.
Really?
Yeah, were invented by a Black person, by Philip B. Downing.
And I think we assume that these things were created by their white counterparts.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like you said, these people never really got credit for them.
No.
Another aspect of Black history is understanding, us as African Americans, understanding and knowing our own history. What do you think about that? Yeah, understanding. And for instance, one of the things that I appreciate about your grandmother, your dad's mom, Mrs. Cauthen, was that she was very, very good about keeping things in the family. Keeping pieces of furniture, passing those down, keeping quilts, passing those down, keeping books, documents, pictures, letters, all those kinds of things, and passing those down to the next generation, specifically to her children, your father. And now he's keeping them and documenting them and preserving them. I think it's important for us to know our own history, because that's its own personal Black history. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And so I think that's just another aspect of it all. So these are just a few of the reasons why Black history is so important. Now, we want to continue that conversation with in our next segment with an artist, Mr. Arzell Thompson Jr. But we need to take a little break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Talk show. Today we're going to be continuing our conversation on Black history with Arzell Thompson Jr.
Yes, we met Mr. Thompson a few weeks ago when our family went to the new Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia, right here in Lithonia. And so he's an artist, and he has an art studio, and we got a chance to sit down with him and do an impromptu interview and just learn about who he was and what he does and why he does it, his passion for art. So let me tell you a little bit about him. Mr. Thompson is an artist. He's a teacher, a father, he's a grandfather, and he's a proud man of color. And he says that he uses his generations of experience to create narratives through artistic expression. Really beautiful art pieces, and you'll get to see some of that in the video clip that we're about to show you. So stay tuned for our interview with Mr. Arzell Thompson Jr. Great. And so Arzell, this is all you, this art. Can you tell us a little bit about when you got into this and what inspired you to get started, and a little bit about maybe some of your most popular pieces?
My mother got me started in art in Ferguson, Missouri, back in the 50s.
Is that right?
Early part, latter part of the 40s, actually. I was 5 years of age.
Oh my.
My mother was a domestic. She worked domestically for a family on the property. We lived on the property.
Wow.
And a garage back in the back.
Wow.
And it was comfortable and everything, you know, for the time. Dad was a chauffeur, working in St. Louis, Missouri for Harris Lumber Company. And Mom set me down at the kitchen table. I had no one to play with because I was the youngest of the litters around the neighborhood. And they were in school.
Right.
So Mom set me down with crayons, watercolors, pencils, paper, and said, stay busy.
Really?
She was cooking a big dinner, you know, for the folks.
Yes.
And back in 1950, I had turned 8, and it was time to migrate up to Racine, Wisconsin.
Sure.
Factory business was big at that time, like for a lot of us.
Yes.
Well, St. Louis was considered the South.
Right, definitely.
So we migrated up there.
Yes.
And my first painting that I painted in second grade sold to my principal's secretary.
Really?
Sixth grade, I won every national competition as far as elementary art.
Really?
And that is this piece here.
Okay. Oh my, look at this. Is that right? That's this piece, Andrew. So this was the sixth grade piece?
Sixth grade.
Unbelievable.
It ended up in the White House.
Really?
As elementary school art.
Right.
Because it was award-winning out of Racine, Wisconsin.
That's so you discovered your talent at a very early age.
Very early.
That's amazing. So now fast forward me. So here you are. in Atlanta today. I see pictures of Sidney Poitier. I see pictures of President Obama. I see, just a variety of pictures. Tell me about do you have a particular style? Because I see a variety of styles here.
Being a painter, a true painter,
Yes.
a true artist,
Yes.
whether it's digital,
Yes.
whether you're going for NFT,
Yeah.
which is the in thing nowadays,
Yes, really.
as far as token
Okay.
type art,
Okay.
where they trade art off. It's you have to go with the flow.
Wow.
And I'm 78 years of age,
Oh my goodness. Wow.
and the Lord has given me the
Yeah.
energy to fulfill my legacy.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm doing that
Yes.
for not the purpose of writing a book
Right.
to make money.
Right.
Money's not important to
Wow.
me
It's just the
because
art.
I've survived
Yes. Yes.
this long.
Yes.
The art,
Yes.
finding a home,
Yes. Yes.
it's my reward.
Wow.
Okay?
It's amazing.
And for my daughter
Yes.
to write my website for me
Yes.
and become my manager
Oh,
in
what
Denver,
a rewarding
Colorado,
experience.
it's a blessing.
It is a blessing to have
a
your
blessing.
family be able to help you like that.
And the ones that will be rewarded for all of this,
Yes.
whatever is left over,
Yes.
the grandchildren
Yes,
can
yes,
have it,
yes,
my
yes.
2 sons,
Sure,
they
sure.
can,
Yeah.
they can
Do
have
what
part
they
of
need.
my legacy.
This is a wonderful legacy. This is amazing. I'm looking around at all your art. And so are you out here every week? How does that work?
Every weekend,
Oh, a weekend.
every weekend,
Okay, wow.
the Black Wall Street,
Yes.
new Black Wall Street
Uh-huh.
market
Uh-huh.
is open
Yes.
Wednesday
Yes.
from 11 o'clock until 6.
Okay.
I mean,
From
until
Wednesday.
8.
Okay, till
Until
8.
8.
Okay.
Friday from 11 o'clock
Yes.
until 8.
Yes.
Sunday,
Yes.
it's open until 6.
Okay. Great. Great.
So,
yes.
I'm just here 3 days
Yes.
out of the week because
Yes.
I need to catch up with some of these commissions
Yes,
that I
that's
do.
right. That's right. That's
So
right.
you got to
So,
keep producing.
yeah, so people can find you, it looks like on Facebook and on Instagram.
Instagram.
That's right.
My website.
Arzell Thompson Jr.
Right.
Excellent. Thank you so much for
Okay.
taking time to talk
Thank
with us.
you.
This is amazing.
We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back soon. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back soon.
Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. Now is our Around the Town segment. This is where we go and visit various different places and spaces, sometimes in Metro Atlanta, but a lot of times in other states and other cities. And today we're going to be revisiting Montgomery, Alabama, which is really a place with such rich civil rights history. It's a place where Martin Luther King Jr. lived with his family and preached and taught at. It's a place where there were marches and all kinds of civil rights things that took place. Do you remember our visit there?
Yes, I remember. We got to visit the church that Martin Luther King preached at,
Yeah.
and I even got to play on the piano there.
Yeah, she got to play on the piano. This was the same piano that the pianist that he had hired back in the day played on. I believe she was still alive when we, at least at that time. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So really an historic time, wonderful visit. So please turn your attention to our time in Montgomery, Alabama. This week, our Around the Town segment takes us down the road to Montgomery, Alabama, a place bursting with an abundant amount of history about the civil rights movement. Our first stop in the city took us to the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. The Dexter Avenue Baptist Church congregation was organized in 1877 by free people of color. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the pastor of the church from 1954 to 1960. He organized the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott from his basement office. After viewing a short video in the downstairs museum area, our tour guide took our group upstairs to view the main sanctuary. While we were there, our daughter Adrianna, who is a musician, had an opportunity to play a song on the piano. This piano is still being played by Mrs. Althea Thomas, the musician hired by Dr. King over 60 years ago. We then made our way over to the Dexter Parsonage Museum, which was located just a few blocks away. This is the home where Dr. King lived with his family while pastoring in Montgomery. Although we didn't have a chance to visit, the Rosa Parks Museum, located on the Troy University Montgomery satellite campus, is another great place where you can see lots of history. The museum is an active memorial to the life of civil rights icon Rosa Parks and the lessons of the Montgomery bus boycott. It contains information, exhibits, and some artifacts from the boycott. Before we left the downtown area, we drove past the Alabama State Capitol and the Alabama Judicial Building. Montgomery is not only a city that looks to its past, but it is also clearly focused on changing its future, as evidenced by electing its first African American mayor and by hiring a black artist to paint a Black Lives Matter mural around Court Square Fountain, a place where slaves were formerly sold. Our trip to Montgomery, Alabama was a rich learning experience, and we're looking forward to visiting again soon. We hope you enjoyed our visit to Montgomery, Alabama. We need to take a little break, but we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really easy, delicious chicken alfredo pizza.
Yeah, and easy is always a thing because we know that people are wanting something good to eat, but not necessarily wanting to slave over a hot stove. And so pizza is always a favorite for most households, and chicken is kind of a nice touch. It's something a little different, don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
So please turn your attention to Adrianna's Chicken Alfredo Pizza.
And welcome to our Meal of the Week segment. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a quick, easy chicken alfredo pizza. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off by cooking our chicken. So I've got about one large chicken breast that I've seasoned with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I'm just going to put it into this hot pan and let it cook for about 5 minutes. So now that we've cooked our chicken, let's move on to the Alfredo sauce. So in this saucepan, I have 2 cups of whole milk, and I'm going to add in a cup of butter, and I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high, and I'm just going to stir that around and let the butter melt for about 2 minutes. So now that we've finished melting the butter, we're just going to take this off the tap for a minute, and we're going to add in our cream cheese. This is 8 ounces of cream cheese, and just stir that around for a while, for about a couple of minutes, and let it melt. Alright, so now that the cream cheese is melted, we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to add in 1 cup of finely grated Parmesan cheese, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, and 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. And I'm just going to mix all of that together. Alright, so now that we've mixed all those ingredients together, I'm just going to let the sauce thicken for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be back to show you the rest of the recipe. Our Alfredo sauce and cooked off our chicken. Let's get started on rolling out the pizza dough. So I made some homemade pizza dough here, but you can use any recipe for pizza dough you want, or you can just buy a pre-made pizza crust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some flour and just sprinkle that over my cutting board. And I'm just going to take about half of my pizza dough, because I've got quite a bit here, and I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to sprinkle some more flour, just so that it doesn't stick to my rolling pin. I'll just set that to the side there. So now, I'm just going to roll out the dough into a nice large circle. I've rolled out the dough, I am just going to pick this up, and I'm going to take a little bit more flour and sprinkle that over my pizza pan. And I'm just going to spread this out until it's, stretched far enough to cover the whole pan. Alright, so now that we've rolled out our pizza dough, let's assemble our pizza. So I'm just going to take some of our Alfredo sauce, and I'm going to pour that around. I'm just going to spread that out with a wooden spoon. I'm going to put a little bit more on there. You want to make sure that you get plenty of sauce all around the edges, because you want each bite of your pizza to have plenty of flavor. You don't want the edges to just be bland. So I'm just going to spread that all around. And now I'm going to take some mozzarella cheese, and I'm going to put that on there. And now I'm going to take some of our chicken and sprinkle it on. You want to make sure that it's nice and evenly incorporated all around the pizza. So you don't want people fighting over who gets the slice with the most chicken. Alright, so now we're going to put on our final ingredient. We're just going to sprinkle some oregano over the pizza to give it a little bit more flavor and a little tiny hint of color. Alright, so our pizza is ready to go into the oven. And now I'm just going to stick this into a 425-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you the final results. Alright, so the pizza is done and it looks really delicious. I'm going to give you a close-up shot so that you can see how great this looks. I hope you enjoyed this.
Well, we hope you enjoyed Adrianna's yummy recipe of chicken Alfredo pizza. We need to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. In honor of Black History Month, we wanted to do a special segment featuring Black-owned businesses, specifically Black-owned women's businesses. And so we wanted to take you back to the new Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia. We actually talked about that last week, but we wanted to revisit that. The new Black Wall Street Market is a destination for family, for fun, for entertainment, for retail. As an extension of the Allen Entrepreneurial Institute, the new Black Wall Street Market has a mission to not only increase the number of minority businesses, but it has a mission to increase the number of women-owned minority businesses, which brings me to Laura Manning. Laura Manning owns a shop there called Lamas, and we spent some time with Laura visiting her and her gourmet specialty treats. So take a look at our visit. What you have here, this looks wonderful.
My name is Laura Manning. I'm the CEO and founder of Lamos.
Okay.
Lamos is a health and wellness business.
Right.
I do elderberry syrups, sea moss gels. One of the biggest products that I have that I created
Yes.
was what we call Mama's Honey. It's an elderberry infused honey. So elderberry, is good for congestion and
heard.
sinus and pressure and allergies, and it boosts your
Wow.
immune system.
Wow.
So I found a way to infuse it with some other spices
Yes,
with
yes.
regular Wildflower Honey. It's raw honey.
Yes.
And together they are very tasty.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I see. So all of this is the elderberry honey.
Yes, all of
infused.
these are elderberry infused honeys.
Okay.
Right now we just released a hot and spicy honey.
Oh, wow.
That's infused with chili peppers and a few other peppers.
That'll open you up.
Oh yeah, definitely. But for right now,
Yeah.
we're doing the Mama's Honey here
Is
at
that
the
right?
New Black Wall Street.
Oh, that's great. So now, how much does something like that sell for?
This jar sells, it's a 9-ounce jar, and it
Yes.
sells for $25
Okay.
for the 9-ounce jar, and it
Yeah.
comes, of course, with a honey dipper.
Oh.
And it's good. You can literally do everything that
Yeah.
you do with regular honey.
Yes,
You
yes,
can put
yes.
it in your coffee, you can put it in your tea, you
Okay.
can glaze a ham, you can put it in your oatmeal, you can
Wow.
take it right out the jar. Whatever you do with regular honey,
Yes.
it just gives you a sugar alternative.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
A healthy
A
sugar.
healthy, exactly.
This is
Yes,
terrific.
and you'll get the twofer. You get
Yeah.
all the benefits of honey.
Yes.
Because honey, is an antibacterial. It's
Yes.
good for cough. It's good
what I
for cold,
hear.
as well as the elderberry.
Exactly. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
My website is www.lamossatl.com. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. And again, the company is called Lamos. LA-MOSS.
Terrific. Well, we
Great.
will be in touch, and I think others will be very interested in your product. Sounds
Great.
wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. Our time together is almost over, but before we go, we have a couple of things we'd like to share with you. First of all, the Elevate Talk Show just created a new business directory, which is the perfect place to list your business if you're looking to get yourself out there and just put your business in front of more customers. All you have to do to become a part of our directory is to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and then leave a comment with your information, your business name, your email address, your phone number, and your website, and we'll put your business in our free directory.
Yes, great way to get a little bit of free advertisement. Our second thing that we'd like to mention to you is that the Elevate Talk Show is very excited about our new refrigerator magnets, and we've been giving these out to our new subscribers. So in order to get one, all you got to do is subscribe to the show and just email us or leave your contact information, your address in the comments section, and we will get one of these right out to you. So take a moment to do that today. Tell them how they can look at the Elevate Talk Show.
Alright, so we upload to YouTube every week, and we also are on DeKalb Public Access Channel 25 on Sundays at 7 o'clock. You can also live stream us on DeKalb25.com at 7 o'clock as well.
That's exactly right. Very good. So we want to thank all of our viewers, all of our subscribers for tuning into us each week. We don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you, and we're so excited about how the show is growing. Tell your friends. Tell them to go to the Elevate Talk Show YouTube page and subscribe because the more, the merrier, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you for being with us. Have a great week. We will see you next time.